To close out our period TED Talks, please welcome to the stage SALMA RASHAD.
So I'd like to pose a question for you all. By a show of hands, how many of you in here have heard of the term fake news? Yet, how many of you are still on social media? Okay, let's be honest here. Now, how many of you are 100% positive that everything you read or watch is true? See, we are constantly surrounded and bombarded by different sources of information that hide all communication till we're stuck with what? Lies? Truth? Or somewhere in between? Hi, my name is SALMA RASHAD, and I'm a junior here at Diamond Bar High. It has come to my attention that many youth our age, along with adults, fall into the same trap of believing everything that is said on social media. I'm conflicted trying to find solutions to many unanswered questions like, why does this happen? When did this all start and are people really aware of this issue? Coming from a background like mine, being Middle Eastern, Egyptian to be exact, a young Muslim girl, the media greatly affects me and those around me. The media portrays my nation, people, and religion in ways that I may not approve of. But hey, what can I do? I can't fight the media. But what I can do, and what I will do, is spread the truth and nothing but the truth at all times, and encourage others to do the same. And I'm not talking about the truth of, oh, he is dating so-and-so, or here's the tea, sis. I'm talking about spreading real awareness about struggles that myself, or those around me, or even people from my background are dealing with. Here's a poem I wrote a while back about people, as in you and I and everyone around us, being blind and ignorant to what really goes on, what really happens in this world that we call our own. Look around. What do you find? Liberty, justice, they're all just words on a piece of paper. So how can we be so blind to ignore the obvious, what they try to hide? They say it's fair, but in reality it is just what they declare. They say it's right, but how can we be so blind when the actual word justice could be so bright? We all try to hover around to see what they say, what they try to cover. They play with words just like their clay. Well, here's the thing. Media is no longer properly used. How can we be so blind? It's all just so full of bling. Its main purpose is to amuse. So where is all the equality? It is all drowned in a pool of lies. How about even freedom of speech? They cover up important things, like the people who die. Justice is not what is happening. The only thing left to change is the definition in a dictionary. The right and wrong are all combining, so how can we be so blind when all we hear is the commentary? Justice is a quality that encourages equality. Now is our time to prove that we are worthy. So tell me, what is it that we are hiding from? When we have the thoughts but not the words, we should have nothing less than freedom. I beseech you to answer my question and speak it aloud. How can we be so blind? Now tell me, after hearing all that, do you really think your media is the truth? Because I am certain that each and every one of you, at least now, is aware of this pressing issue of fake news. Now let me just lay out some facts for you, and keep in mind that I am just here to explain and inspire, and that I may also fall into the same trap of looking towards any media source for information. Just think about it. According to the US government, 208.9 million people are active social media users in the United States alone as of 2017. As of early 2018, over 70% of all social media users come from North America alone. And the sad part is, 52% of people state that they know that their news sources are likely flawed, yet they continue to rely on them. Back during the 2016 elections, sources claimed that 75%, I repeat, 75% of all election news that adults relied on a daily basis were in fact false. If all those numbers don't serve as a wake-up call to you, then I'm not sure what will. Because it is until we realize that we have a major issue facing us, we will continue to fall into the same trap of believing lies and spreading lies, thinking we are spreading awareness. And Diamond Bar is no exception. Using a recent example perhaps, you all remember this past branding iron? I was there, trust me, I know. And just think about how the spread of false information affected us all, and how traumatizing it was for some of us. I remember the weekend after, and even the coming weeks after this incident, I remember hearing students and posting about how traumatizing it was, how devastated they were to see that something would happen to our school. I remember one post in particular. This kid posted saying, "I knew this was real news, but I never thought it would hit so close to home." I believe that if you spread the news thinking it was real to all your friends, yes, that was the right thing to do. But if and only if people didn't spread anything. Or if people waited and sought out the truth before acting, the turnout that happened on August 17th near the end of the Branding Iron football game might have been completely different. And that is just one unfortunate example on how heavily we depend on news sources on social media. I will conclude with another poem that expresses how much of a struggle it is to search and find the truth in our current media. I hope this poem can awaken your senses of logic and encourage you to spread the truth and nothing but the truth at all times. What do you know about Palestine? The situation there is anything but fine. I'm so sick of the lying and hiding when innocent children are out there dying. No one knows the truth because mainstream media is a cover-up, controlling the public's views so no one really knows what's up. They choose to amuse rather than tell important news, hiding all the info to make sure you lose. People seeking the truth only get more confused. You want current news? Here's an ad about booze. Keep you at the bottom but tease you with the upper crust. You get it, then they move it so you're never keeping up enough. You turn on the TV, all you see is a bunch of stuck-up klutzes. Jim is dating so-and-so, blabbering about such and such. But that ain't Jersey Shore. Man, that's the news. And those are the same people, supposedly, telling us the truth. Turn the radio on to KNX 1070, but all I heard was talk about Chloe's baby. Kind of embarrassing when a bear singing makes front page, while news of revolutions are chilling out backstage, hidden behind a curtain of uncertainty. Hiding the truth from we the people. What's the point of freedom of speech when people are too afraid to preach and teach? If people know the truth but don't let it leak, I beseech them to reach for the bleach and drink. Now don't just open your ears and listen. Open your mind and think. You don't need permission to make the decision about your mission and vision, but when you do, stick to it with the precision of a surgeon's incision. I think that all the silence is worse than all the violence. We need to blow the sirens of guidance to expel the biased virus of media from the truth. Thank you.